Today we'll be installing the Blue Ox base plate kit with removable arms, part number BX1843 on our 2013 Nissan Frontier. So here's what our base plate looks like installed. As you can see, it's very unobtrusive, doesn't stick out hardly at all from the vehicle, goes in position where the factory tow hook was on the passenger side, and goes in place where there could have been a factory tow hook on the driver's side. Some models may actually have a tow hook here if you have an off-road edition. It all depends. Now, when you're not using your base plate to tow your Frontier behind your RV, it comes with these plugs here that you can insert on either side, and this will keep any mud, dirt, or debris from entering the base plate and making the arms difficult to insert. When you're ready to tow, all you have to do is remove them by pulling them out. You can take your removable arm, you insert it at a horizontal angle, like so, and then twist it until it locks into place. Just like that. And this will allow you to hook up to your Blue Ox tow bars. These provide a very simple and safe solution to flat tow your Frontier behind your RV. Now, when you get to your destination and you have your electrical connections unhooked and your tow bar, if you want to start driving your Frontier, all you need to do is pull on this pin to release the latch, twist it until it comes out, and pull. And make sure you reinstall your protective cap. Now, the nice thing about this is when you're not towing, it doesn't give a very cluttered look to the front of your Frontier. It looks very factory-like. To the untrained eye, you won't even know this vehicle is equipped with a base plate to be flat towed. Additionally, it's very nice in the regard that they come with your electrical bracket for your connector here, and then another bracket for your breakaway switch if you have a braking system. Here's what our base plate kit comes with. We have our two base plates here with our removable arms. We have some safety cables here that will attach to our base plate and wrap around the frame to help secure it in case an incident were to occur. We have our two plugs here, which will insert inside the base plate in order to keep any dirt, debris, or moisture from entering and making it difficult to insert our arms. We have these two quick links here in order to secure our safety cables. We have a couple handle nuts here in order to ease our installation. Various mounting hardware to secure our base plates to the frame. Then we have a couple brackets here in order to mount either our 6-pole round or 7-way round electrical connector for our towed vehicle lighting system. Then we have a bracket for our braking system breakaway switch. Now that we've gone over what comes with our base plate kit, we'll show you how to install it. Now, with our hood open, we can begin our installation by removing these 3 fasteners that are on either side of the grille. Just get in there with a trim panel tool, pop up the center section, pull out the outer section. If you don't have a trim panel tool, you can use a flathead screwdriver too to get the center section out. We'll do the same on the other side. Now we need to remove our grille. Behind our grille opening here, there's 6 of these black tabs. If we push up on the bottom of them and push the grille forward, we can remove it. Start at one side and work our way across, make it a little bit easier. With those released, we just pull the grille off. Set it aside so it won't get damaged. Now there's 2 Phillips screws we need to remove in our fender well on either side of the vehicle. There's one right here and then one right here. So we'll take our Phillips screwdriver and we'll start to remove these. We'll go do the same on the other side. Alright, so we'll peel back the fender liner and we have access to our 2 screws that are 10mm that hold our bumper cover to our fender liner. Use a ratcheting wrench to remove those. Once you have them loose enough, you can remove them by hand. We'll do the same on the other side. Now there's 10mm screws underneath our fascia that we need to remove. There's 3 on either side, and then 4 here in the middle. Here's our final 3 on the other side. So I'll start removing these. Now this center section of our fascia, we can grab the sides of it, pull down on it, and we'll set it aside out of our way. Now there's 4 Phillips screws that go to our skid plate here. We can remove these. Now there's two 10mm bolts that hold our skid plate to the bumper support. We'll remove these. Now underneath where our grill was on our fascia, there's 3 more push pin fasteners, one here in the middle and one off to either side by the headlights. We'll go ahead and pop these out like we did the other ones. All right, now we can grab the corner of our bumper cover here, right by our headlight, and pull it out towards us. Then we can reach in behind and unplug our fog light. You pull back on the tab and pull down. We'll go over to the other side and we'll do the same. Now we can grab our bumper cover and set it aside safely so it won't get damaged. Now we can remove our actual bumper. There's two 17mm bolts. There's one here. There's a second one inside this large hole here on either side. So you may need to use a breaker bar to loosen these bolts. All right, now before you take out the last bolt that holds the bumper on, you'll want to have somebody support it so it doesn't fall and hurt somebody. Now on our passenger side, we can remove our tow hook. There's two 17mm bolts that hold it on. Now we need to trim our frame rails ever so slightly so our base plate will sit flush against the frame. Make a mark here with a paint marker and show where we need to trim off right there. We need to do the same on both sides. Now in order to make this cut, we're going to be using a grinder. Make sure you wear your safety glasses and some gloves while you're doing this. With it mostly cut off, now we can take a pair of pliers and just twist it off. Make sure we get all the pieces. We're also needing to notch this section right here a little bit. So cut that out here and see how it fits. Once we have it notched a little, we can grab our pliers again and just twist it off our frame. And we'll do the same on this back one here. So right here is all we need to cut off. We'll do that and see how it's sitting. I just put a couple notches in it, so I should be able to break it off easy with the pliers. Just needed to get it started for us. With our frame notched all the way, you can see our base plate will slide up easily into position, and we can install all of our hardware. Now let's go trim the other side the exact same way so the other one fits just as nice. Now we need to enlarge this hole here slightly so our handle nut will fit into there. You could either use an 1¼ inch hole saw if you wanted. I'm gonna use a step bit. Okay, with that one going through easily, we'll do the same on the other side. Now that we got both of our holes enlarged, again, since we have some bare metal exposed, we'll take some of our spray paint and we'll spray it in there so we don't have to worry about any rust. Make sure you get the inside of it nice and good so you don't want it rusting from the inside out. Now we'll take one of our M12 bolts. You can tell this apart from the 1/2 inch bolt because it's a finer thread pitch. Take one of our lock washers here and we'll cover our bolt in red Loctite. We need to make sure we have all of our bolts with Loctite on them. There we go, that's enough right there, just a dab will do it. Now we'll take a 19mm socket, we'll hold our bolt in there, take our driver's side base plate, we'll insert the bolt through the back hole here and we'll install it. These will go into the two weld nuts in the bottom of the frame rail. We'll torque these to the specifications found in the instructions. All right, we'll repeat this process for the other side now. Now with our base plates torqued on the bottom bolts, we need to enlarge this hole that's already pre-existing in the frame behind our base plate. That way we can install a 1/2 inch bolt through it. Now we can do this a couple different ways. We could use a drill bit or use a step bit. I'm going to use a step bit here today just because there's already an existing hole, and this will go through a little bit quicker and easier for us. Our bolt should go through there nicely now. So we'll take our 1/2-inch bolt, put our lock washer over it, and make sure we put our Loctite on. We'll insert our handle nut through the hole in the frame rail that we enlarged earlier, and we will thread our bolt through our hole here in the base plate into the handle nut. We'll take a 3/4 inch socket and we'll snug it on down. Once it starts getting tight, we'll switch over to our torque wrench and torque it all the way down. Now we'll repeat the process for the other side. Now we'll take our quick link here and install it on the back hole of our base plate. We'll use this to attach our safety cables to. Wrap it around the frame, making sure we don't go over any brake lines or hoses of any kind. Pull it on down like so. Put it into our quick link and we'll tighten it down. All right, good. We'll do the same on the other side. So on our passenger side, we're going to go around the engine cradle, support right here, go through there, and we'll reach up from behind. Once we got it up, install it on our quick link. Now we'll just snug them down with a wrench to make sure they're not going to back off. Now we'll take a pair of side cutters and we'll remove the handle off our handle nuts. Do the same on both sides. All right, here's our bumper that we removed earlier. I have it flipped upside down right now, so we have the back side. For reference, I labeled it here so it says driver's up and passenger up on the other side. That way you know how we're looking at it. Now we need to mount this bracket here on the back side of a bumper. That way we have a place to mount our electrical connector for our towed vehicle light system. So we'll take a tape measure, and from the driver's side of the bumper, right there, we need to make a mark at 13 inches. Doesn't have to be precise, but the 13-inch area is a good place to be. So right here, it's 13 inches. So we'll take our bracket, lay it alongside that mark. From the top of our bumper, right here, we need to measure 2 1/4 inches to this hole right here. Do it on both sides, and we'll mark the center of these holes here for where we're going to attach our self-tapping screws. Take a small drill bit here to make a pilot hole, make it a little easier. Place our bracket back on. Now we'll take our bracket that we're going to use for our breakaway switch. We'll mount it just to the left side of our electrical bracket. Do the same thing, we'll make a mark, then we'll drill a pilot hole. Then we'll take another self-tapping screw. Now with the help of an assistant, we'll raise our bumper support back up, and we'll get our 2 top bolts started. Now we'll do our 2 lower ones. Now with the help of an assistant, we can reinstall our fascia. Make sure we plug back in our fog light connectors. Just clip them in place like so. And we'll raise it on up. Now we'll put in 3 clips here just to hold the bumper cover in place. Now we'll reinstall our 2 bolts in the fender that hold our bumper on. We can reinstall our fender liner here. Just kind of push it back into place like so. We'll reinstall the 2 Phillips screws that we removed. We'll do the same on the other side. Now we can reinstall the bolts that our skid plate had going up into our bumper support. Tighten those down for 10mm. Now we'll take our 4 10mm Phillips head screws right here. So you can either use a Phillips head or a 10mm socket. And we'll reinstall our fascia to our skid plate. Now we'll take our 4 Phillips head screws and go install our fascia to our fender liner. Now on the bottom part of our fascia centerpiece here, we have this cutout for the passenger side tow hook that we removed to install our base plate. We have a mark on the driver's side here. We're just going to cut out around this so it matches the passenger side, and we'll be able to reinstall this panel now. Use a rotary tool here and we'll make our cut. Okay, we'll remove this center section here now, and we'll finish off the rest with a pair of side cutters. Now that we got our hole cut, we'll slide this back into position, making sure we slide it up towards the front first to engage this tab, and then we'll install our bolts. Kind of wiggle it into position around the base plate like so. All right, just like that. We'll push it on up, secure it. Now we'll reinstall our 10mm bolts. There's two short ones. They go off towards the side of the base plate right here. Again on the other side. Now we'll reinstall our four long ones. Now we'll reinstall our grill, lining the 6 tabs up with the fascia, and we'll push it back into position. You can hear it clip into place as you push it in. And we'll reinstall our 6 push pin fasteners. Let's push them in, push it in the center until it clicks.
And that completes our installation of the Blue Ox base plate kit with removable arms, part number BX1843 on our 2013 Nissan Frontier.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.